everyone, and welcome to WGBS TV Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. My name is Steve Eunice. In this, our September 8th, 2020 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including the the home video release of Superman Man of Tomorrow, Supergirl, complete fifth season. We're going to be talking about upcoming DC FanDome, explore the Multiverse, and so much more. We're also going to turn to you to take your questions and comments on any particular Superman topic you would like to discuss, and to let you know how all that works and how you can get involved in tonight's show. Let me introduce you to my co-host, Mr. Michael Bailey. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Steve. How's it going today?
Doing well, and yourself?
It's my last day of vacation, so I'm a little down. But that also means that I'm not going to fall asleep during this episode like last week. I didn't fall asleep last week. Anyways, no one wants to hear about my vacation. No one wants to hear about any of that. So we are going to talk about Superman because WGBS Live is all about Superman, and we want to hear from the Superman fans that are watching us live right now on YouTube. So about halfway through the show, and if we don't have a whole lot on the docket, we're going to try to get to your calls. So how do we do that? Well, you're going to need Skype. Use Skype, search for Superman homepage, and send us a message that you'd like to be on the show. Now, a couple of things. One, message us. Don't just call us, because that can kind of screw things up. Also, if you have an external speaker, and that's what you're using to listen to WGBS Live, please turn that down before we take the call, because we are on a bit of delay, and that can kind of screw things up.
Yes, indeed. And if you're watching this live via YouTube, then we invite you to join in and chat with fellow fans, post your comments, ask questions, and Michael and I will keep an eye on those comments throughout the show, so get involved. And if you want your comment featured live on screen during the show, feel free to post a super chat. All you have to do is click on the dollar symbol, the dollar bill symbol, the little dollar symbol. In that chat, on the chat screen there, you'll see a slider that will appear on your screen when you do that, and you decide on a dollar amount that you're willing to donate, and we will feature your comment or question on the screen. And a huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, Tina Murray, and John Patrick Van Pelt. Well, Michael, you've, as you said, last day of vacation, but you've also been a busy boy doing Dragon Con Goes Virtual, a couple of panels.
Yeah, it's, Labor Day weekend here in Atlanta is usually Dragon Con, but with COVID-19, obviously we can't do that because getting 80,000 people together is a bad idea. But Dragon Con still went on virtually. I did 2 pre-recorded panels, which, I did not like doing those. And mainly because I had to teach myself editing video, which isn't complicated, but I've never done it before. And I wanted it to look good, so I was stressed out about that for most of August, actually. But we did some live panels through Facebook, and most of those are available on YouTube on the American Sci-Fi Classics track. Basically, I spent most of part of Saturday and most of Sunday and a little bit of Monday morning doing this.
And how did your internet hold up?
Through the entire weekend.
Oh wow! Yeah, how good is that?
Like last week after we had that problem, we did not have another problem. So what I'm assuming is that there were some problems on the line itself, however the magic works. But no, everything held up. Everything held up great. Mind the Gap asks if I've ever put podcasts on YouTube. No. I guess I should start because that's where a lot of people are going. But thing is that I use licensed music in my podcasts, and I don't want to get them pulled, and I can't earn any money off of that. So I was thinking that once we get past the move, which will be coming up in a couple of months, maybe I'll invest in a camera, a nicer camera, and some actual video editing software that costs money, and maybe do something but this video is weird, man. Video just...
It is. I mean, we went from being just audio podcast, to try to take advantage of the popularity of YouTube, and that's why this went from being Radio KAL to WGBS TV Live, to take advantage of YouTube, and because most of the stuff we speak about is visual, so It's great to be able to show images and what have you, and video while you're doing your podcast. So yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because you worry about whether you're missing on all the audio only people that like to listen to their podcast while they're jogging, walking, traveling in the bus, on the train, whatever it might be. But at the same time, you can still do that and then glance every now and then down at your phone if you're watching the video to see what we're talking about. So I think it's probably the best of both worlds in some ways.
Yeah, and putting images on the screen isn't complicated. I basically just made a PowerPoint presentation and just threw those on the screen, which was nice because you only saw me at the beginning and the end. So on the first video, which I had a really hard time with, we didn't have the YouTube cut where it just showed me and then like all of a sudden it cuts randomly for absolutely no reason. You didn't see any of that. You just heard the audio. So where I had the images on screen. So, but no, I mean, it would be fun to do stuff like that with some of my podcasts, but I don't know if I would want to port my podcasts like completely, all of them over to YouTube. Maybe like have a YouTube channel for my site.
Yeah.
But you still have the audio only, but do some like 20 or 30-minute videos. I ain't doing hour videos until I get good at it, because, wow, that took a long time.
Yeah, which is why the live thing is good, because if you're prepared to do it live, you don't have to worry about the editing process, and that used to take a lot of time back in the day. But, you got to be very prepared doing it live, because, you got to have your graphics and things ready to go. And
yeah, and the thing about video as well is that those files are much larger than audio. I mean, my typical podcast is like 100 megs. It takes about, with my slow internet, it takes about like 20 minutes, 25 minutes to upload.
Yeah.
I tried uploading my videos to the people that were going to be putting them up on Facebook and all that, and my internet kept timing out because they were so large, so I finally had to put them on a flash drive and mail them. And we're having a bit of a problem with the U.S. Postal Service right now, so I was a little nervous about that. But thankfully, they got there, and everything went off without a hitch. Looking at the view numbers, the people watched them. So
that's good.
I was kind of worried about that, too. I was just like, I'm going to do these pre-recorded things, and it's going to have like 5 views, and I know those 5 people. So...
Anthony says those were awesome source panels you did. Michael.
Yeah,
so
Anthony watched them and commented. I really appreciate that too. No, it was Dragon Con was different this year, mainly because we weren't there, but that meant that like all of the prep that we usually put into it didn't have to happen. I actually got some sleep. I only had to get up early one day. And, that really didn't take a whole lot out of me. And I got to meet new people like I usually do. And yesterday, a bunch of us got on Zoom and just had like a social thing like we would normally do at the end of con anyways, which was nice. But man, I miss seeing people.
Yeah.
I miss going places and doing things. We're... March, April, May, June, July, August. I mean, we're 6 months into this, and exactly. No end in sight. But hopefully things will calm down by next year. But anyways, right. I think I've bored people enough with... No,
well, it's got some great comments. Justin says, don't forget the chat pages we used to do on Tuesdays. Yeah, we used to do an hour text chat. That was back in the day. Yes, we do remember that, Justin.
Yes, I do. Those were, there was one person in particular that was very dramatic. It's really like we keep talking about this, but the site has really seen kind of the evolution of how people communicate online.
For sure.
Going from just people visiting the page to people participating in the page with a message board and then leaving comments and having chats. We had basically an AOL group chat that you would post the text from. And then you and Neil started doing the podcast that Scotty picked over. then we started doing the live, and it's just like now we're live on YouTube once a week usually, barring holidays and family emergencies. So it's really neat that a site that's been around for over 25 years now gets to still be around and still be relevant.
Yeah, that's really good. And Mike Zumo says this is literally the only thing he watches when it's on. So I'm really appreciative of that, Mike. John says he usually downloads this show and listens to it at the gym, which is really cool. Michael F. Balak asks, what is your YouTube channel, Michael?
I don't have one set up.
What about your
yet.
site?
My site is fortressofbailey2.com. There you can find all my shows.
Yep.
And links to all my shows.
Cool.
There's like 700 some odd episodes of stuff to listen to when you add them all up. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Justin says, lucky it's not in Morse code. No, we didn't. We skipped that phase.
Yeah. We when we went video, we thought about doing semaphore, with the flags, but we thought that might be a little esoteric.
All right. Well, let's get into the topics of today. And today, this very day, we have a couple of Blu-ray DVD releases. And the first of those is obviously Superman Man of Tomorrow, which is available on Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray Ultra HD and Blu-ray DVD combo pack on this very day. Next week, you and I should be able to chat about having watched that and gone through some of the bonus material. So if you do want to pick up this, you can order it through our website via Amazon, and it's available, as I said, today on Blu-ray combo pack. So make sure you get out and purchase that. Also available today is Supergirl, the complete 5th season. This is now available on Blu-ray, DVD combo pack, and DVD. It not only contains all 19 episodes from the 5th season, but it also contains the best of DC TV's Comic-Con panels from San Diego Comic-Con 2019, deleted scenes, and a gag reel, and much more. So you can pick up the complete 5th season of Supergirl on Blu-ray and DVD today as well. And as always, you can order that through supermanhomepage.com via Amazon, and we will I'll look to get that as well, but we won't be necessarily discussing it unless there's some pretty cool bonus material on that. But will you be picking up that Blu-ray collection?
Yeah, is it still going to have Crisis on it as well, or
yes.
Did they? Okay, see, that's the main reason I'm getting the Blu-ray, so I can get Crisis.
That's right.
I buy them anyways, but there's just too many series to keep up with in box set for.
That was one of the questions I had from a couple of people was, I want to get one. I don't necessarily watch Batwoman. Do I have to buy that whole box set to be able to get the Batwoman episode of Infinite Crisis? But no, when you buy the Blu-rays of any of these DC TV shows or from the CW, the complete Crisis crossover is contained on the Blu-ray collection. I don't think it's available on the DVD only. It's just in the Blu-ray, and that's probably due to spacing, of be able to fit that kind of material that you can on a disc.
Yeah, you don't want to. I think it's also a reason to get people to buy the Blu-ray, because DVD. I mean, they still make them obviously, but that is not the predominant form anymore.
That's right.
They're cheap. They're usually cheaper, and they want to get you to spend a couple extra bucks to do it. Zumo says that he wishes they'd sell Crisis on its own. I don't know how that would work. I mean, it's weird enough that it's on all the other box sets, but with how the unions are with like the Directors Guild and the Actors Guild and the Writers Guild. I mean, they went on strike back in 2008, and the 6th season of Smallville was truncated because of them going on strike, specifically because of that. So I think, I mean, you can buy it digitally. The thing I feel bad for is the people in the UK and Australia that I don't know if they've gotten Batwoman yet. So they got like all of the other parts of Crisis except Batwoman, which I argue is the best part. So I kind of feel bad about that.
No, Batwoman was airing here, so it might be just a UK thing. Anthony asks, which is the official cover for Supergirl, the complete 5th season. Anthony, it is this one which I'm bringing up right now. That is the official cover. The thing I put on before, this thing here, it was just a little promo video that the CW released today on social media. That is not the Blu-ray cover, obviously, because it's motion. This is the Blu-ray cover.
It's announcing the Supergirl Cobra Kai crossover. I think I may have binged Cobra Kai over my vacation. So
right,
that's
I've heard some people talking about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people watched it when it was on YouTube, but it has nothing to do with Superman, so I'm not going to get too deep into it.
You could somehow. Is there a connection there? It always comes back to Superman. Can you think of a connection?
It's kind of hard because there's not a whole lot of karate. I mean, outside of the fact
hang on, I can make a connection.
Okay.
No, it's a tenuous one.
Okay.
So Ralph Macchio, or however you want to pronounce his name, also starred in The Outsiders, which also starred what's her name who played Martha?
Diane Lane.
Diane
yes.
Lane.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was in,
there's the connection.
He was in that. I'm trying to think directly because the Karate Kid itself had to be licensed from DC.
Yes.
If you ever watch the credits of any of the Karate Kid movies, they had to pay DC because of the Legion of Superheroes member, the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
But I don't think William Zabka or Ralph Macchio or the guy that played Kreese, I don't think any of them have done anything Superman related, and I'd have to dig into the credits. I'm usually really good at that, but I really wasn't. I got really sucked into that show. Like I literally binged season 1 one night and season 2 the next night.
Oh,
so
wow. There you go. Let's see. Mind the App says Ralph Macchio was in a movie with C. Thomas Howell, who played Wayne in Flashpoint Paradox. So
that is very true.
Yeah, and Michael Ballack says 6 Degrees of Diane Lane.
Well, that you can do it.
You can do
She's
it.
been in a lot of movies.
Yes,
so.
Indeed. She's in another one with Martha and Jonathan Kent are in a movie together for another movie coming out.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. My first thought was this must be like the story that happened right before the ship landed. This is the secrets. This is because they always had those like stories in the Silver and Bronze Age of Clark's older brother.
Yeah.
This is that story. Yeah, it looks like it's basically Jonathan and Martha go take on the guy from Burn Notice and his mom. So
I'm sure there'll be a lot of trailer and edits and things where people put the two of them together, using dialogue from that movie, and it'll be interesting to see what they can come up with to bring it back to Superman. But also elsewhere for the TV side of things, La La Land Records are now taking orders for their Young Justice Outsiders limited edition CD soundtrack. This is the score to the acclaimed DC Universe original series Young Justice Outsiders. It contains 2 CDs, deluxe CD presentation, composed and mastered by James Nelson. This special release features courageous art designed by Dan Goldwasser and exclusive in-depth liner notes by writer John Takis. It is limited to 1,000 units. It's a 2 CD set priced at $19.98 US and is expected to ship. Expected to ship now. It's available now because it was expected to start August 28th. So lalalandrecords.com for the full track listing and to place your order.
Yeah, and I saw on Twitter Blake Neely, who does the music for Supergirl and a bunch of the other CW shows. He says Water Tower Music is about to make an announcement of a bunch of soundtracks that are going to be released. So he couldn't give any details, but I have a feeling in a couple of weeks we're going to be talking about soundtracks to the maybe some new soundtracks to the various shows. I'm kind of hoping that Crisis gets a score release, given all the music that was in that. But yeah, I'm glad that La La Land is continuing with that because it seemed like they had gone kind of fallow with the DC soundtracks. But if they're doing Young Justice, that's fantastic. That means there's still a market for it.
Yeah, and we do think. I mean, there is a 4th season of Young Justice coming, but it's with COVID, everything's just kind of been put on delay. But you'd think animation could be done in many ways without having to be too close together, especially with the audio dialogue recordings. But I mean, everything's just going to be put on hold in every facet of entertainment.
Yeah, most of these voiceover artists have like a home studio that they can work in, so I'm sure that part of it was fairly easy to do.
For sure. All right, well, let's take a quick look at the comic book side of things, and the comic books available this week include Dark Knight, Death Metal, Trinity Crisis #1, and that is also available in a variant cover right there. Whoops, there we go. That is out this week. Also available this week, we have Superman #25, introducing Sinmar, and that is also available in a variant cover, and that is all that's available this week. But speaking of Superman #25, our reviewer Adam DeChannel has already submitted his review of this particular issue, and he gave it a 3 out of 5, saying that he wasn't sure about Sinmar. He was ready to dislike Sinmar when he was originally announced, but he's kind of really interested to see where this might go, because it's kind of a little bit of an interesting introduction to Sinmar and the backstory of his race, and could be an interesting development for the storyline to come out of Superman in the next few issues.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it's still coming out. I'm really not feeling outside of from some of the people that I know that like have review sites and stuff. I'm not really feeling a whole lot of excitement for new comics right now from social media. It's like people like talk about a book here and there, but I think COVID has really taken a hit on people either getting their books or being excited about the week-to-week comic book business right now.
Yeah, so true. So you can check out Adam's full review at our website right now. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're almost at the halfway point of tonight's show. Then we're going to come back on the flip side to talk about DC FanDome Explore the Multiverse. So we'll be back right after these messages. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bulmer, the voice of Superman in Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
Well, fellows and girls, what I have to say will only take a few seconds, but I hope it sticks with you for a long time. It's about cleanliness, being clean in mind as well as in body. Now, believe me when I tell you that a clean mind in a clean body is important to success and happiness in life. For instance, in school, in your social life, and later when you grow up in your business contacts, the quality of the clothes you wear is never as important as the condition of them. In other words, it's never as important to be expensively dressed as it is to be neat and clean. Being neat and clean always leaves a good impression. And a good impression is important to success. Well, the same thing is true of a clean mind. So begin now to develop the habit of being clean in mind and body. Think clean and keep clean. Lack of cleanliness is usually a sign of carelessness, and carelessness indicates laziness. Remember always that carelessness and laziness lead to failure. Start now to prepare for success by thinking clean and being clean.
Thinking clean and being clean.
Yeah, I can say definitely on one. I'm not too sure about the other. But anyways.
All right.
Think clean thoughts, chum.
Yes, exactly. Now, this weekend, Saturday, September 12th, is the next DC FanDome online event, Explore the Multiverse. Here is the promotional trailer for that very thing.
So glad to have you all here. Your heart starts pumping, interacting with the passionate fan base. now the pressure's on.
The Batmobile is no joke.
You are so good looking.
It's a completely different experience.
I'm dropping the mic.
DC FanDome. Explore the multiverse. Free for everyone 24 hours only. All fans welcome. September 12th only at DCFanDome.com.
So there you have it. DCFanDome.com. Explore the multiverse. 24-hour event. Online. Global event. Where you are now in control. You decide what you want to watch, when you want to watch it, because everything is on demand. It starts, I think it's 10 a.m. Pacific time. Might be incorrect there, but anyway, it's Saturday, September 12th. Lots of different Superman content available this time around.
Yeah, this is, of course, the weekend I'm working. And Saturday in particular is like a 11-hour day. So I'll try to catch some stuff when I get home. I was kind of excited to see Jim Lee wearing a Superman shirt.
Yes.
I was actually really surprised by that, and it looks like he's going to be interviewing the Lois, Superman and Lois people.
Yep.
And I don't want to know how many times a day Tyler Hoechlin has to shave. I know he was on Teen Wolf, but it seems like he seriously just constantly has 5 o'clock stubble.
All the time.
5 o'clock shadow all the time. So yeah, he's got that heat vision and that little piece of metal on him at all times now, just to keep that trimmed down.
So having a look, I've created my own schedule, and things that I'm looking forward to obviously are the Superman and Lois panel. Obviously everything's pre-recorded. There is nothing live in this. It's all, as far as I understand, on-demand material. There's a Legion of Superheroes panel. There's a Young Justice cast audio play performance and panel. You've got Inside Injustice, making the hit games and comics panel. Mostly Deceased panel. Obviously, there are a couple of comic book side of things. Take a tour of DC's Death Metalverse panel. There's Superman, an enduring symbol of hope panel, which sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's about. The already seen on IGN.com Superman Man of Tomorrow panel will be available for you to watch again. Look who's coming to DC Superhero Girls. There's DC Superhero Girls Lairs panel. There's a DC Kids comic book reader, where you'll be able to read for free some comic books, some graphic novels, which I'll get to in a second. There's some other ones that have been released on Blu-ray DVD bonus material, like Look Up in the Sky, The Amazing Story of Superman. There's The Sonic Landscape of Man of Steel. Smallville, Absolute Justice from Script to Screen. These kind of behind-the-scenes video packages that, as I said, are usually bonus materials or have been released as bonus material on Blu-ray DVD collections in the past. There's something called the Magicians of VFX, making Supergirl and Shazam fly panel. One for Krypton, one for Smallville. How Supergirl Celebrates Strong Women, and another one called Long Live Superman. So there are a couple of Superman-related panels that you can check out, and there is another one, which I'm about to talk about, called The Creative Coalition Presents Superman Radio Show World Premiere. Now, this is let's just bring up the graphic for it here. Oh, this is a graphic. This is Superman on Radio. This was a CD collection that they released a couple of years ago, which I absolutely loved.
A couple of years ago? Try like over 20. On.
Really? That long?
I got those in 1998.
Wow. I knew it was a while ago, but
mine. Yeah.
The Smithsonian Historical Performance of Superman on Radio. That was an excellent collection. Really well done. The booklet alone is worth the price of the collection. But anyway, what this Superman Creative Coalition thing is brings the 1940 Superman radio series to life on DC FanDome Explore the Multiverse, Saturday, September 12th, with a cast of today's biggest stars. So fans from around the world can tune in to this exclusive 1-hour event beginning at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for 24 hours. That's dcfandome.com. But the Superman radio series will be available on demand, so fans can access it throughout the day whenever you want, using original scripts from the long-running radio serial recently unearthed from the Warner Brothers studio vault. This rare, never-before-seen production will allow fans to experience the Man of Steel in a unique way. This exclusive event supports the Creative Coalition's urgent work to protect and advance the arts in schools and communities across the nation. Fans are encouraged to go to thecreativecoalition.org to learn more about keeping arts advocacy alive and vital. Now, here are some of the stars that are included with the cast. There's Wilson Cruz, Tim Daly. This is an interesting one. Daniel Day Kim as Superman. You've got Jason Alexander from Seinfeld. You've got Eric Bergen, Anthony Carrigan. Who else? What's some other names that I recognize in here? Jason Isaacs. Yes. Anthony Rapp, Yolanda Ross, Tony Shalhoub, Henry Winkler. So, yes, a number of well-known names lending their voices to this Superman radio show at DC FanDome Explore the Multiverse this Saturday.
This is something they need to do more of. While you were talking about that, I grabbed off of my shelf behind me a book I've had for years. Mm-hmm. It's Superman the Radio Scripts.
Got that one, love it.
And this is the Superman versus Atom Man. I'm just saying, get like the animated cast, get like anybody together, and just have them perform these and release them as podcasts. Mm-hmm. I think it would be amazing, especially the ones that are lost.
Yes.
Because Doctor Who has that problem, because they would just tape over episodes over in the UK of Doctor Who. So there is a bunch of the serials from the 60s that are just, they don't exist anymore, but they've unearthed the audio from them. So they've animated those and released those as specials. So what I'm saying is, figure out which radio episodes aren't available anymore, and like do a serial or so with like the TAS cast, or just put a new cast together and have them do it. I would subscribe to any streaming service that had that.
Absolutely. I mean, during the Second World War era, a lot of the discs from Superman radio series of the 1940s were lost or destroyed. And so, unfortunately, there are episodes or a whole series of stories that are unavailable. Thankfully, a lot of them have been collected from the series onto MP3 files that are available on old-time radio websites. I've got a 6 CD collection of the entire run of episodes that are available. There was even a series done here in Australia using Australian voice artists based on the same scripts that were available here, and they have never been released in any format other than 1 or 2 episodes being out there, but they are available in the archives at certain government locations, which is sad that they have never released those on CD.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm kind of glad that Warner Brothers hasn't gotten super, like stamping down on with those radio shows, because they're freely available, or what's available.
Domain now, that's why.
Yeah, but that really doesn't stop major corporations. But
it's true.
The only problem with them is that I'm anal retentive, so when I put them into iTunes, I have to set up tracks and name them so that they play in order and stuff like that. But I'm just really glad that stuff is just out there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they can do new versions that they can charge for. And again, I would like that first Batman serial where Superman meets Batman for the first time. Most of those episodes are completely gone.
Yeah.
So get Tim Daly and Dana Delaney and Kevin Conroy and just do that series. I mean, it's just with Spotify doing this DC podcast thing, I don't see why they wouldn't. And since we're in this era now where we're not as concerned with different versions of the characters existing in different media, it's such a wider net. It just
I think it would be fantastic. I absolutely think that's a great idea. I don't know why someone hasn't thought of it already. I'm on the record as saying that Clayton Bud Collier is my favourite version of Superman in any medium, and the radio series is just amazing. If you haven't checked it out, okay, yes, it's dated. Yes, some of the stories, are hokey or whatever, but it is just fantastic. It's just a great version of Superman. I absolutely love it, and he does such a good job portraying both characters.
Any version of Superman that has Clark Kent trying to get away from Perry White so he can change into Superman, that his way of doing that is punching Perry White unconscious is a Superman that I am behind. And I'm not saying that all of them were good.
No.
Man, you get right after that Clan of the Fiery Cross storyline, they bring in this dumb character that I just hated, that was supposed to be comical, and I'm like, oh, okay, and again, because we think of these things as entire entities and not the shows that we watch today, which they very much were. I never really occurred to me that some of them would be bad, because, like you said, they've released the ones that the Smithsonian did, where they did the first pre-recorded or transcription feature. And for those that want some old-time radio lingo, if you ever hear an old radio show and they say this is a transcription feature, that means it was pre-recorded and not recorded live.
Yeah.
And they released the Superman Batman one, which went into the Superman versus Atom Man, and you are absolutely right. The booklets that came with that alone are worth the money I paid for those.
Indeed. So yeah, if they could produce some new versions of the episodes that are lost to time, and put some of the voice casts together from any animated series or just a new cast altogether, with today's technology and sound effects and stuff like that, it would be amazing. I hope somebody gets onto that. If they don't, maybe we'll do our own and get sued.
Yeah. Well, let's try to avoid that for right now.
That's for now anyway. For the younger fans out there, alongside DCFanDome.com, there is DCKidsFanDome.com, and here is the little promo for that.
DC Kids FanDome is nearly here. A mega 24-hour only event where you will laugh, create, and celebrate with the Teen Titans, DC Superhero Girls, Batman, and a whole multiverse of your favorite DC characters. There's so much to discover and uncover at DC Kids FanDome. Watch for free Saturday, September 12th at DCKidsFanDome.com. DC Kids.
So there you have it. DCKidsFanDome.com. 24 hours going parallel with the adult version of DC FanDome. Obviously involves things like Teen Titans Go, DC Superhero Girls, some of the the younger audience material that DC produces, some of the comic books for the younger audience, graphic novels, and one of those is the Dear Superheroes. What was it called? It was Dear Justice League. It was a graphic novel intended for readers aged 8 to 12, and it was we actually had the author Michael Northrop. We interviewed him and artist Gustavo Duarte on supermanhomepage.com talking about the book. I think I've got the cover for you guys right here. Dear Justice League, where is it? No, I've not got the cover of that one. But there's a sequel to that book coming out, and it is called Dear Supervillains. And Dear Supervillains is the cover right there. It will come out... when will this be released? It will be released April 6, 2021. But we've got some pages from internally from this particular book as well. So obviously Lex Luthor is going to be involved, and as will Harley Quinn and all, Joker and the rest. So while Dear Justice League featured the world's greatest superheroes answering fan mail from young fans, DC Supervillains features the Legion of Doom answering questions from curious kids. How did Gorilla Grodd get so smart? Did Harley Quinn ever try a career in comedy? Why does Catwoman always lose to Batman? These questions and more will be answered in Dear Supervillains, which will be out next year. But the connection with DCKidsFandom.com is that the first book, Dear Justice League, will be available to read for free via the DC Kids Comics Reader, available at DCKidsFandom.com this Saturday. So if you missed out on it, didn't buy it, want to check it out, see what it's like, you'll be able to read it for free at DCKidsFandom.com this Saturday, which I think is an awesome idea, and many other books and graphic novels for young readers will be available on that DC Kids Reader this Saturday as well.
And I'm glad that they're doing something for the kids. Again, with the net so wide nowadays, and you have all these different versions of these characters, and like the DC Superhero Girls, which I can't watch that. It's not for me. I can't even watch it kind of like Teen Titans Go, where it's kind of funny, because it's just written for an audience that I am not a part of. But I'm hoping that brings people into superheroes. Mm-hmm. Comics. I am for the first time in my life, and as somebody that has been for years arguing that comics aren't going anywhere, I'm kind of worried that they're not going to completely disappear, but it's not going to be like it used to be, in any sense of the word. So the idea of a connected universe and like a massive crossovers and stuff like that is probably going to go away, but we want to keep these characters alive somehow. So yeah, I'm glad they're doing that. Yes,
I think it's a fantastic idea. Anthony asks in the comments in the chat about the image behind me. Here, let me tell you all about it. It is Sideshow Collectibles' new Superman 6th scale figure. And I've got some actual images available for you guys to read once I turn that one off right there. The Superman 6th scale figure is available to purchase or order right now. Superman, it features a custom-tailored fabric costume consisting of his blue suit detailed with the symbol of the House of L. I'm just bringing up more images for you guys here. Red trunks, yellow belt, and red cape with his yellow symbol on the back. His patriotic, heroic portrait has a strong jawline and a sculpted hair, complete with his signature, I call it spit curl. They've called it here kiss curl. I'm not sure what a kiss curl is. But the 6th scale figure has an articulated body perfect for capturing your favorite Kryptonian poses. It includes sculpted red boots with articulated ankle joints, as well as 3 pairs of hands, including fists, flight hands, and posed gesture hands. Detailed accessories direct from the Fortress of Solitude include, I'll bring up some of these images as I are able to see them, the bottled city of Kandor, a Starro parasite for the figure's portrait, and a box containing green kryptonite. Let you display the Man of Steel in a number of unique and dynamic ways. So here are more of the images. There's the box of kryptonite. What else do we have?
Why is he holding it?
I don't know. That's strange. You've got the bottled city of Kandor there, and this is the complete accessory image here. You've got Starros. I'm bringing up the Starro one if I can find it as well. It's really creepy. There's the bottled city of Kandor. Whoops. Here is, where is it? Don't have it, I don't think. Starro's head on Superman's, or Starro around Superman's face. It's really creepy. Yeah.
So
there it is.
Kiss curls. Oh, that's creepy. So kiss curls were more of, they're also known as spit curls, were made famous by American-born French dancer, singer, and actress Josephine Baker in the 20s. And the way her hair was is that she had multiple ones. So right. It wasn't just the one in the middle. So that's really kind of, I'm assuming it was called a spit curl because you did it with your spit. But yeah, so thank you, Internet, and fashionizing.com for having that very easily found.
The figure is priced at $240 US. It's ready to ship this month.
Good Lord!
Yeah, I know. And you can add it to your collection of 6th scale figures from Sideshow Collectibles. Link is available on our website if you would like to purchase it. We would get kickbacks from it. So for $240, it might be a sizable kickback too.
Yeah, good man. Oh, wow. $240 for a fig. I mean, it's a nice figure, as usual. If they want to send us each one, we'll do a live unboxing.
Yeah, we could. So there's it's a nice figure. As someone said, it doesn't usually always look like the one that they put on display in these images.
No. There's usually differences, especially in the production of it.
Yeah. But it's a very nice looking figure, and it is available to purchase now through our website. All right, so something else that's available to purchase, although I did think I saw that it was unfortunately already out of stock, or maybe they're just not really restocking, but it is Funko's Canada only Toys R Us exclusive Funko Pop Ad Icons Jeffrey as Superman vinyl figure. Jeffrey is obviously the Toys R Us mascot. He's a giraffe, and he's dressed in the classic Superman costume, although he does have gloves on as well. This is only available in Canada because I think, like here in Australia, Toys R Us are probably not really around anymore in the US.
Yeah, they're talking. Somebody's bought the brand. Supposedly they're going to bring it back. I'm still kind of mad about the whole thing because of how that closed up. It was one of those instances where a company bought it just to basically strip it down and sell it and let it die.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I find this both adorable and frightening at the same time.
Yes, so the Funko Pop Toys R Us Jeffrey as Superman exclusive vinyl figure is priced at $16.99 and can be ordered through Toys R Us in Canada. So if you've got a friend in Canada, north of you, you might want to tap them on the shoulder and see if they can get this one for you if you are a Funko Pop tragic.
Yes, a tragic?
If you have to collect everything.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that. I mean, I only get certain ones, and even then, I weigh it. So
yeah, so that's the Ad Icons range of Funko Pop figures. We also got a look this week at from Dario Brizuela. He's a comic book artist and illustrator who has done a number of Superman children's books for Capstone, and he gave us a look at the steps that he takes in creating a Superman cover art for the Superman and the Showdown on Saturn little book that was released by Capstone. It's a children's book. So there's his little sketch, and then he takes it to the colouring stage, and then obviously it goes through to the final artwork stage where the titles and text are added. And this is a book in a series of solar system adventure books in which Superman battles a foe on each of the planets in our solar system. It's there are 8 books in total in this range. I just love how you get a breakdown from the artist showing you the process involved in from initial sketch right through to finished art. It's a really nice look behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm kind of fascinated by how these covers come together. It's like watching artists put the prelims of like classic comic covers that they used just to show the editor, this is what I'm going to be, this is the idea, and they either approve it or don't approve it, which kind of shows you what an assembly line these things are. But I'm sure it's even, I'm sure when doing these books that you're under pretty strict guidelines about what you can and cannot draw, because it's supposed to be in the animated style.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of solar system books. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. So there's Superman and the Menace on Mercury, Superman and the Villains on Venus, Superman and the Invasion of Earth, Superman and the Mischief on Mars, which you can guess is a Mixie book, Superman and the Trials of Jupiter, Superman and the Showdown at Saturn, Superman and the Utopia on Uranus, and Superman and the Nightmare on Neptune.
I wonder what Of course, there's no Pluto anymore.
No.
Thank you, science.
Justin says he loves it when Bugs Bunny would garb himself, or was he singing about Daffy Duck? Actually, both of them did. In the Superman costume. There was Stupid Duck was the Daffy Duck one, and then there was Super Rabbit was the Bugs Bunny cartoon. So they're the original Looney Tunes. There was a more modern take where Bugs Bunny talked about the fact that he was from Krypton, and Daffy was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But, so I mean, Superman's such an icon that even iconic characters dress up as Superman from time to time, or parody Superman. There was a Popeye episode where Bluto, pretended for Olive Oil that he was Superman because she was such a Superman comic book fan. I was just watching, or my wife was watching an episode of The Golden Girls the other day on TV, rerun of that, and there was a Superman-related episode where a character was, referenced Superman quite a lot. So Superman is everywhere and has been for a long time.
Yeah, and still can't get a new movie, but, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. John C. Ha ha ha, Uranus. Yes, I knew somebody had to.
Yeah. I was.
You were
really
almost gonna go there. Yeah, you were.
I was almost gonna go there, but I decided. I kind of push it enough.
Yeah.
Really.
Now, speaking about old cartoons, the Superman Museum watch party that was supposed to take place this past Friday, September 4th, had to be rescheduled due to technical problems. So fans are now called to get together for a virtual watch party for the Superman Museum in Metropolis, Illinois on Friday, September 11th. So this coming Friday at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The watch party will be an evening where fans can come together for a virtual gathering to watch all the Max Fleischer Superman cartoons from the 1940s. So if you're a fan of those, you want to get together with a virtual gathering of Superman fans, go to our website where you'll find the link for the Superman Museum, Super Museum, Metropolis, Illinois watch party taking place this Friday. That'll be fun.
Woo. Yeah, it should be.
John C. also reminds me of the I Love Lucy episode where George Reeves obviously starred. Lucy dresses up as Superman because she promised little Ricky that Superman would come to his birthday party in an effort to one-up his friend who was also having a birthday party on the same day. And so Lucy creates the idea that she's going to get Superman to come to his party. That's a very fun episode with guest starring George Reeves himself.
Yes, where he insults Lucy in
at the end.
Pretty hardcore.
They call
at the end
me
there.
Superman. Yeah. There is an interview that you might want to check out online if you're fans of Superman. Obviously you are if you're watching the show. Voices from Krypton.net spoke exclusively with actor Kevin Caliber. And you might be asking, who is Kevin Caliber? Well, Kevin is the gentleman who was the stand-in for Superman at... Oh, that's the watch party. Where is Kevin? Here he is. Turn that on. There he is. He was the stand-in for Superman in the pilot episode of Supergirl. He was also Superman in fan films Superman World War and Eradicator Absolute Authority. I spoke and interviewed him when I was in Metropolis, Illinois for my last visit for the Superman celebration a couple of years back. Lovely gentleman, very good-looking young man who plays Superman and does it really well. He talks about those projects, the meaning of Superman in today's world, and what it's like to wear the Superman costume. So if you want to check that out, that interview is up on our website right now. But we have time, Michael, quickly for a This Week in History. If you are ready, I'm got
ready
the
to go.
graphics ready to go. Over to you. Here is our intro for history.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bottom of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
We're gonna be really quick about this. That's not what I wanted to do. Way back in 1940, on September 10th, Superman number 7 came out. That had 4 Superman stories in that. Had a pretty exciting cover where Superman is fighting a boat. That didn't come out the way I wanted it to. I stumbled over my own syntax. Jumping in September of 1970, you had Justice League of America number 84, which was the Devil in Paradise, and Superman's on the cover looking like he's about to die. You also had World's Finest Comics number 198, which had one of the, it was either the third or fourth Superman Flash race, which was Race to Save the Universe. Jumping to 1980, you had Justice League of America number 185. If I am correct about this, and I think I am, that is the second issue drawn by George Perez, and that was when the JSA and the JLA fought Darkseid. Also, that same day, Superman number 354, which had a story called Twice About a Time, and a Superman 2021 story, which I'm sure everyone's going to be talking about soon. Also, you had DC Comics Presents number 28, which was the first appearance, or the second appearance of Mongol, which was pretty cool. Jumping to 1990, you had Superboy number 10. This was Superboy the comic book, which was based on the syndicated series. Jumping to 2000, we have, which I talked about last week, but I'm going to talk about again this week, Superman number 162 with Superman versus Aquaman. You also had Superman Adventures number 49, where apparently Superman and Lois are trapped. I also pulled out for 2010, because it was really the only thing I could find. There was an issue of the Doom Patrol, where the Chief captured one of the Kryptonians that were in the bottle city of Kandor and went crazy. He actually tried to take over the Earth. In the real world, really quick, on September 6th, you have Justin Whalen, who is Jimmy Olsen on Lois and Clark seasons 2 through 4, born in 1974. Superman the Animated Series made its debut on the Kids WB in 1996. Today, September 8th, is the anniversary of the Super Friends premiering on ABC TV in 1973. A couple days on September 10th, you have the New Adventures of Superman Filmation series premiering on CBS in 1966. Lois and Clark made its debut on September 12th in 1993, and artist Mike Grell, who drew Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, was born in 1947 on September 13th.
A massive week. Obviously, a lot of premieres take place in September each year.
Yeah.
Well, that pretty much brings us to the end of today's episode. Before we sign off, I'd like to thank everyone for watching tonight's episode of WGBS TV. Thank you to everyone in the comments for your participation and questions and comments. And a big thank you to you, my co-host, Mr. Michael Bailey. Sorry you have to go back to work tomorrow, Mike.
That's okay. I mean, I got to earn a living.
A huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, Tina Murray, and John Patrick Van Pelt. If you want to sponsor the Superman homepage, please head to patreon.com/Superman homepage. You can be a sponsor for as little as $1. You might also become a Superman homepage YouTube member. All you have to do is click the join button below. The complete 1 hour video of tonight's show will remain available on our website and will also be available on the Superman homepage, or supermanhomepage.com, and our YouTube channel. If you missed it or want to check it in full, you'll be able to do so at those locations. We'll be back next week on Tuesday, September 15th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time for another edition of WGBS TV Live. Look forward to talking with you then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice. On behalf of my friend Michael Bailey, a.k.a. Bibbo.
It's soda. That's all I got this week.
Thanks for watching WGBS TV Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com.